He dropped the archway, grabbed her under the arms, and dragged her toward what he desperately hoped was the exit. His vision was going spotty, black creeping in at the edges. The tarp had burned away completely. He was pretty sure his jacket was on fire, but dealing with that seemed less important than moving forward, getting out. Not dying here in an alien palace because he decided to play here. Cool air hit his face like salvation. They burst out of the burning hall onto the palace steps, and Liam's legs decided they were done with this whole standard thing. He collapsed on the smooth crystal, still holding the princess, both of them coughing hard enough to hurt. Medical personnel swarmed them immediately, gentle hands pulling them apart, scanners running over skin, voices asking questions in languages Liam's brain couldn't process anymore. Someone was wrapping his hands in something cool and medicinal. Someone else was putting an oxygen mask over his face, and he sucked in clean air like drowning man finding the surface. Through the chaos and the medical attention and the ringing in his ears, Liam heard a voice that cut through everything
Tier
else.
3 crown?
Not loud, but absolute, carrying the kind of authority
Use a
that made
tier
reality
5.
sit up and pay attention. Clear the space. Everyone not medical personnel step back.
What?
Now, the crowd parted like water, and Queen Thesserat walked through the gap.
I know, now you got
She was exactly as tall as the briefing materials had said, exactly as imposing, her golden markings bright against her skin in a way that declared lineage stretching back before humans had left Earth's surface. She moved with the certainty of someone who'd never questioned whether she belonged somewhere, because everywhere she went automatically became somewhere important.
Screen there.
That's okay.
She knelt beside her daughter
Let's get all 3
checked
screens
her
right
over
here.
with hands
That's right.
that were steady and
That's why I
clinical
turned
despite
it.
what
It's
must have
okay.
been terror.
I don't care.
Who am I
Ashraf
fighting
said
now?
something
Who am
in
I
rapid
fighting? What I got left?
gesture.
Oh shit, I got him?
Not you.
Oh, this is not good.
And Liam
Oh,
suddenly
crap.
understood
I don't have my guys in here. Come on, guys, get in here.
She asked them to. She stood across the space between them and knelt.
I can't die.
Queens didn't leave.
I can't die. I've already died once.
Very clear about that. Queen stood,
Well, you guys have a
subject
good
to
night,
knelt.
and
I've already died once.
But here she
Get
was,
some
eye
sleep.
level, examining his burned hands and soot-covered face with an expression he couldn't read. He ran into the fire, she said. Her English was perfect, unaccented, which somehow made the statement more unsettling. She needed help, Liam managed. His voice sounded like he'd been gargling gravel. Our guards were organized in proper rescue protocols. You had no equipment, no protective gear, no training for palace emergency procedures. The Queen's eyes held his, unblinking. You could have died. Yeah, well, didn't seem like there was time for proper. Liam tried to sit up straighter, failed, settled for not falling over. Is she okay? The princess. Something flickered across the Queen's face, too fast to identify. She stood, turned to address the assembled crowd in formal High Kyrellian. Liam's translator caught maybe a third of it, enough to get words like ancient law and firebond and sacred duty. The crowd's reaction was immediate and loud, shock rippling through nobles and guards alike. The Queen continued speaking, her voice rising above the murmurs.
Anybody need a
Liam's
widow hell?
translator suddenly decided to start working properly, delivering words that made absolutely no sense. Witnessed by court and sky, bound by flame and courage, the dead is recorded and the law invoked. A hand touched his shoulder. He turned to find a Kyrellian official, older, with deep blue markings and an expression of profound disapproval. Human, do you understand what Her Majesty has just decreed? Not even a little bit, Liam admitted. The official sighed like someone watching a ship crash in slow motion. The Queen has invoked the law of flame-sworn bond. You saved Princess Ashuravel through fire risk, placing your life in danger with no guarantee of survival. By our oldest traditions, this creates a life debt that binds you to her. The only way to honor such a debt, to fulfill the spiritual obligation created by your act, is through marriage union. The official paused, making sure Liam was following. You are to wed the princess. The Queen has decreed it. The law supports it. You have 3 days to prepare.
Great.
Liam stared at
Take
him.
your time.
His brain, still oxygen deprived and processing trauma, took several long seconds to parse the words into meaning. When it finally did, all he could manage was, "I'm sorry."
Why
What?
is that not going in the
Across
bag?
the courtyard, being tended by physicians, Princess Ashuravel was having what appeared to be a very similar reaction, her silver markings cycling through colors rapidly enough to
Why isn't
suggest a
that going
system
in
error.
here?
She caught his eye, her expression somewhere between mortified and terrified, and Liam realized that running into a burning building had been, somehow,
Oh,
the
that's why.
least complicated thing he was going to do today.
So
Liam woke in a bed that
there
was
we
approximately
go.
the size of his
There we
entire
go.
quarters
Yeah,
back in
yeah,
the technician
yeah.
wing, surrounded by walls that shifted color based on ambient light and mood, which meant they'd been cycling through anxious purples all night. His hands were wrapped in regenerative bandages that hummed softly, knitting tissue back together with technology that made Earth's best burn treatments look like wishful thinking. His lungs still ached, but breathing no longer felt like inhaling broken glass, which he decided to count as progress. The events of the previous night replayed in his head with the clarity of a recurring nightmare. Fire, screaming, the weight of the archway, the Queen's declaration, marriage. He sat up slowly, half expecting to discover this was some kind of oxygen deprivation hallucination, but the palatial guest room remained stubbornly real. His datapad sat on the nightstand, displaying a schedule that made his stomach drop. 900, medical evaluation. 1000, etiquette briefing with cultural advisor Velmont. 1200, traditional costume fitting. 1400, private
I have a
audience
place
with
for everything
Princess
so far,
Ashura.
don't I? Yeah, I do.
1600, meeting with Queen Thesserat. The schedule continued for 3
Don't
solid
I have a place for
days,
gems?
culminating in something labeled betrothal ceremony
Isn't it?
grand hall full court attendance. A soft chime indicated someone at the door. Before Liam could decide whether he was accepting visitors, the door opened, and a
Gems.
younger Kyrelian entered carrying a tray of what smelled like breakfast. Their markings were pale green, which
I can't
Liam's
name
cultural database said indicated service staff from
Some
one of the
gems.
coastal clans. "Good morning, honored one," they said in careful English.
Oh,
"I am
you went over
Reshnell.
here.
I've been assigned as your
You're not
personal attendant for the
gems.
duration of your stay in royal quarters." "I have an attendant now," Liam said. "You are to marry the princess," Reshnell said, like this
Why does it
explained
keep
everything,
putting
which apparently it did.
skilled
You require
gems?
assistance navigating court protocols, wardrobe
Skilled
requirements,
gem.
and dietary
So
restrictions.
the wording
I am
is
here to provide such
retarded.
assistance. They set the
Rubies,
tray on a
jewels is
table
what I
that
need,
rose from
not
the floor at their
gems.
approach. I've prepared a selection of Earth-compatible foods, as well as some traditional Kyrelian dishes that humans have previously
They don't
found
have a thing for
acceptable.
rubies.
Please eat. Your first appointment is in 47 minutes. The medical evaluation was thorough and uncomfortable, involving scans that Liam was pretty sure could see through his soul. The physician, an elderly Kyrelian with white markings that indicated a lifetime in service to the crown, examined his healing hands and lungs with clinical efficiency. "You were fortunate," she said. "Another 30 seconds in that environment and your lungs would have sustained permanent damage. As it is, full recovery is expected within 5 days." "Great. Will I be recovered enough to run away before the wedding?" The physician didn't smile. Attempting to break a fire bond would bring dishonor to both families and likely result in exile from Kyrelian space. "I do not recommend it." She applied something cool to his hands that made the burning sensation fade. "Also, the princess specifically asked me to ensure your comfort. She seems concerned for your well-being. That is not something she typically extends to strangers." Liam didn't know what to do with that
I think I'll have to go
information,
on
so he
YouTube.
filed it away next to all
Get
the
some
other
show, get
things
some
he
video
didn't
put
know
on
what to do
YouTube.
with. The etiquette briefing was conducted in a small conference room by cultural advisor Velma, who looked like someone had taken the concept of stern disapproval and built a person around it. His dark purple markings suggested noble lineage, and his expression suggested he'd rather be anywhere else. "Let us establish the fundamental situation," Velma began, pulling up a
That's
holographic
it.
display. The law of flame-sworn bond is one
So
of
all
our
you're gonna
oldest
give me is a
traditions,
freaking long
predating
staff?
our unification as a
Are you
spacefaring species.
kidding me?
It recognizes that certain acts of courage create spiritual connections that transcend normal social boundaries.
All this for a
He
long
highlighted
staff.
a section of text that
I was
Liam
expecting something
translated, rendered
amazing.
as something about fire and honor and deaths beyond pain. In our history, this law has been invoked perhaps 24 times, always in circumstances where someone risked certain death to save another from flames. The bond created is considered unbreakable, sacred. To refuse it brings shame not just to the individual, but to their entire family line. Velmoth looked at Liam directly. You understand, of course, that you cannot refuse. I'm getting that impression, Liam said. What happens if I do anyway? Exile from all Kyrelian territories. Potential diplomatic incident between Earth and the sovereignty. Permanent disgrace to Princess Asheravel, who would be seen as unable to inspire loyalty, even in one who saved her life. Velmoth's expression didn't change. Her Majesty would also likely be quite displeased. Queens have long memories and extensive reach. So, full pressure, no escape, marry the princess or destroy everything. Got it. Liam rubbed his face, forgetting his hands were still tender, wincing at the contact. What about what she wants? Does the princess get a say in being married to some random human who happened to be in the wrong place at the right time? She is bound by the same law. The fire bond recognizes the courage of the savior, not the will of the saved. It is considered a higher calling.
Well, that's a horrible
Velma pulled
staff.
up another display.
Sorry
This
about
one
that. I am
showing
back.
family trees and lineage
I am back.
maps.
6K
However,
left.
I will
Don't worry,
note
you're
that
getting
Princess
close. Which
Asheravel
multiplier
does
is
not
This is
two
a
X?
horrible
In
staff.
fact, she has
Gas
asked me
times
for
or
this
highly suspect?
that
What's up, guys?
suggests
Good to see you.
interest at minimum.
How are we doing
The
today?
costume fitting was an exercise in patience Liam didn't have.
Want to do a dab?
3 attendants measured him, argued in Kyrelian about
This is a
proportions of
horrible,
traditional
horrible
I'm gonna go
outfits,
staff.
smash
and
another
eventually produced a formal robe that somehow managed
What is
to be
that supposed
both
to do?
beautiful and uncomfortable.
Guys, if you don't know,
The
highly
fabric
suspect.
shifted between
Truck
blue
drive
and
the gamer
silver,
dad. What are
embedded
we
with
really
some
doing
kind of
here?
reactive
Like,
fiber that
we see this
responded
guy all
to
the
movement.
time, man.
It fit
You
perfectly,
rate him, he
which
rates
meant they'd
us.
somehow
Like,
calculated
yeah,
his
follow,
measurements
please.
with
Get over there.
terrifying
Follow him
accuracy.
now.
You will wear this for the betrothal ceremony, one attendant explained.
Oh,
The colors represent
I
water and
see.
sky, traditional elements for binding ceremonies.
Then,
The
for
silver
every
threading
intel, every
indicates your
text, and every
connection to the
string,
princess's lineage.
it becomes a
I feel like I'm playing
badass.
dress up, Liam said. You are entering one of the oldest royal families in Kyrelian history. Yes, you are playing dress up. Try not to trip on the hem. The private garden where he was supposed to meet Princess Asheravel was situated on an antigrav platform that floated several hundred meters above the palace proper. Liam stepped onto it with some trepidation. Earth had platforms like this, but they always had railings, safety protocols, stern warnings about not leaning too far over the edge.
Alright, we're trying to
This
open up this
platform had
sandstorm.
none of that,
We're
just
gonna
open
run some of
space
these
and a magnificent
neat maps
view of the
tonight.
ocean moon's bioluminescent waters stretching to the horizon. Princess Asheravel was already there, standing near a fountain that cycled water through impossible curves, her back to him. She wore simpler robes than yesterday's ceremonial dress, pale
Double
blue
mana
that made her
fuckers.
silver markings stand out. When she turned at his approach, Liam got his first good look at her without the chaos of fire and panic. She was beautiful, but it was
Really
the kind
need
of
to
beauty that
probably
made his
incorporate
brain
some
work
negative
harder to
rarity in my
process
build
it.
at some point.
Familiar enough in the basic structure of humanoid features, but different in
Start
all
getting
the
the exceptional
details.
crafting
Her
bases.
ears swept back and up, adorned with small silver rings that caught the light. Her eyes were larger than human standard, a deep violet that seemed to shift depth based on the angle. The bioluminescent markings traced elegant patterns down her neck and arms, currently glowing steady silver but flickering to pale pink when their eyes met. You're staring, she said quietly.
Bro,
Sorry,
these
still
spirits.
calibrating to engage to actual royalty. Liam moved closer,
Sometimes
keeping
they
a
can just
respectful distance he
pour it
hoped was
off, dude.
appropriate. How are you? The fire, your leg, are you okay? I'm recovered. Kyrelian healing technology is